So this project's really short. So I have to ask, like, is there more coming?
Yes. I'm so glad you asked. Yes, yes, yes.
What's going on? Y'all make some more noise. We got people in the building.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
I gotta switch side. I gotta get comfortable. I'm on my new side today.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. Thank you for joining us. How you doing?
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
I mean, we glad you're here. You know, we're really loving the new project. I wanted to ask you because you're on tour right now.
Yes.
You know, and
The Really Hurt Tour.
The Really Hurt Tour. You've been on tours with Pusha T. You've been on tours with Ariana Grande. What's it like to be, you know, leading your own tour?
Oh, it's such a rewarding feeling for me because I feel like I'm always the opening act. Mm-hmm. Not that there's ever anything wrong with the opening act, because I always say that the openers of today are the headliners of tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So it's when you're an opener, like you gotta really work with what you got. And I feel like when you're the headliner, it's like it's all about you. So, and you get to do songs that you don't normally get to do when you're opening because they're there, people are there for you, so you get to go into your back catalog a little bit. And I think that's like what I'm most excited about.
I mean, I think that's so dope. Like when your fans are truly there, you get to pull some stuff that, you know, like you said, like some folks might not know. And sometimes I feel like as an artist, that's kind of enjoyable for you because you get to like deviate a little bit.
Yeah, and I get to find, like, I like to ask my fans online sometimes, like, what songs do you want to hear in the set list? And they always say some songs sometimes, and I'm like, I didn't even know you know that song. Like, that makes me feel really happy. So I'm like, okay, I'll do that song.
And I have to ask you because in the announcement post, you had a hashtag that said, ladies that really rap.
Oh, They Really Rap Tour.
Yeah, They Really Rap Tour.
Somebody wrote that in the comments, so we just been like using it, like the Really Hurt Tour, They Really Rap Tour.
What does that mean to you when you think about like really rap?
Well, first of all, the girls that I'm on the tour with, Lakia and Libra Jolie, are super talented. Like I'm actually fans of them as well, and I've been following them, like their career since they started, because you know I've been in the game a little while. Yeah. So when the new girls come out, and it's like, especially girls I take a liking to, and I think that they're really fire, I support them because I get that support back sometimes, and I want to be that person. Like I'm not a hater, so I want to be one of those people that's like, if you're fire, I'll give you your flowers as soon as I see it. I don't need to wait till everybody else gives you your flowers.
You see it on sight.
Yeah, like as soon as I see something I like it's genuine with me. Yeah. So me and Libra been cool for years. Me and Lakia have been cool for a while too, so we've been cute. Everybody always say we like twins. Like, they always confuse us, and they're like, aren't you? And I'm like online, they be like, you look like BIA, you look like Lakia. They think we're the same person sometimes, so I'm like, okay, we're gonna go on tour together and let y'all see we're not a clone. I'm just kidding. But I just love girls that can rap. Yeah. And they really push their pen, and that inspires me to push my pen harder every time, because what does it say? Iron sharpens iron.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so if you're good, you're gonna make me better.
Make you better. How important is it in this era to you to really be passionate and consistent with your writing and your pen, right? Because there's a lot of other folks that might take different approaches, but you specifically, even when we listen to this project, like I feel like you're so diligent and intentional about what you want to say. Why is that so important to you?
Well, I like to say I'm a real artist, and when I say that, I'm a vulnerable artist. So like whether I'm rapping in a way where it's like aggressively vulnerable, or whether it's like soft, like Four Seasons, or maybe Motionless, like one of my old songs, I'm gonna take it to a place where like it's personal for me, and I'm gonna speak on things that if I'm not going through them, somebody very close to me is going through. So I'm gonna be able to relay that on the music. And I feel like that's the most important thing for the music, because I want it to be timeless and I want it to live. I don't want it to be like just a trend of right now. I want it to be something that like you could run back 5, 10 years, 20 years from now and be like, this slaps.
Yeah, today.
Still.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
How hard is that to navigate in today's era where I feel like, as an artist, there's so much pressure around, or so many folks saying different things about how you should release, when you should release, how many songs you got to release. But you were taking your own path. How are you navigating that?
I do what feels right, and I trust the people around me. like when you cultivate a team and you guys see any type of success together, I feel like it's cool. It's important to trust them because like it's almost like that's what got us here.
Yeah.
So let's just keep trusting ourselves because that's why we're here. You know, if we switch it up now, what would we be doing?
Right,
So
right.
it's
You kind of gotta trust the folks that you put around you in the first place. Because why would they be around you otherwise?
Right, and you want to elevate, but you just want to hope that you can elevate with the people that you put in place.
Yeah.
And hope like you got it, but you got to empower people to do that. I sometimes don't like when people will encourage me to do something but won't empower me to do it, or they'll micromanage the way I'm doing it. And it's like, let me do it first before you come in and say like, oh, this is how you should do it. Like, and it's always people that have not done it that usually try to tell you like, this is how you got to do it. Like, you didn't do it, so why don't you do it for you? Let me do it for me.
Have you always felt the freedom to kind of push back on those type of scenarios?
Absolutely. I'm a Leo, so.
Leo energy.
I'm very sure and for certain. I'm very certain of like my decisions and how I feel about things. So I think that that's just like the way I move with everything. And if somebody tells me no, I'm often like, all right, who else should I talk to? Because you are not it.
Yeah. Facts. Talk to me about, so on this project, we were talking about the penmanship, but the thing I wanted to ask you about was, do you feel like sometimes it goes over people's heads? And the reason I asked you that was because you released the video for Millions, which is fire, and then you released a lyric video after that.
Yes.
And so I was like what was the conversation about the reasoning for deciding to do that?
Sometimes I have a lot of bars that I feel like people are like, oh, she don't have bars. And then it's like, then I'm like, no, I really do. Like, you gotta really break them down.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta really listen to them. And there's a lot of people that rap and their bars go over people's head, but I think sometimes lyric videos is like good so you could visually see it. And you could say, oh, I didn't know that's what you meant by that.
Yeah.
Or I didn't know that that's what you said.
Actually said.
Because sometimes I hear somebody's song and I'll remix the hell out of it. Like
oh yeah, we create lyrics.
I'll throw in different words that they don't even say. So like sometimes like I need the lyrics like to know what did you really say, because I said what I wanted to say.
Well, sometimes that's the beauty in it too, right? We as fans we take songs and we make up words and phrases, but I think also it is dope to like get to see like what you intentionally wanted to share and wanted to bring with your craft. Two things you doubled down on the EP was about you.
I really like that you listen so well to the EP. Like your stuff. Give me a high five. Let's get it. Let's talk about that.
We are fans of you, and honestly, as being a real artist, like the work you show towards your craft, I got to do the same thing. So, but also it's a team effort. We got a large team that contributes to the show. So.
I appreciate that.
Of course.
These are great questions. Like I'm like, wow, you know your stuff.
Well, then I gotta ask you about this Gucci comment twice.
Okay, yeah. Let's get into it.
What's the situation with Gucci?
This is the funny thing. I don't have a situation with Gucci. Like I don't have a personal with Gucci. I just feel like Gucci is one of those ads that I've seen them troll in their ads sometimes. Yeah. And I feel like me as a Black and brown person, I speak for my community. And I just feel like if there's one brand that I feel like you tried it. It's like, you try it sometimes. But I still love Gucci. Like I still love this timeless Gucci pieces that I have in my closet that I won't get rid of. Yeah. But it's like, I gotta troll you too.
Yeah.
Because you're trolling us.
You trolling us. No, I appreciate it. Like you got what you stand on.
It's just a little key.
Yeah.
That's what music is about,
Yeah, you gotta be able to sneak in, how you feel, or not even sneak in. You gotta put in how you feel.
And right? I feel often too, like we don't always realize, like we are the consumer, like we are the power of like, hello, it's us. We're buying everything. Like we are starting the trends. We're doing we're the culture. So it's like you have to have respect for the Black and brown community, whoever it is. Like
whoever it is. Even like you think about like Dapper Dan, they wasn't respecting Dap, and then he went and did his own thing.
And that was one of the reasons why like I grew up off of like Dapper Dan pieces, and I was like, I used to be like maybe 16, 17 and be like, oh my God, I really want these Gucci shoes. Like, how am I gonna buy these sneakers? I really wanted, I need this Gucci bag. Like, it was like, I used to want it so bad.
So bad.
Until I got to a place where I was like, this means nothing. Like these things that I used to want so bad don't really mean anything.
It's crazy.
But it's crazy that you don't feel that until once you are in a position to go and buy those things, and then you're like, these things really don't mean what I thought they did.
And then you're like, I'm spending my money on it.
And they have no validation on me as a person or like, you know, trends change, fashion changes, style changes, and style's like a you thing anyways. Like, you don't have to have Gucci to be stylish.
Nah.
Or any brand, you know.
No, we figure out whatever it is. We make it stylish, you know. That's what I loved about when I was coming up, especially like high school. So much creativity was like high school, right? Because you didn't have it, you know. Like we would see all these people that we admired, but we didn't have what they had, and half the time they didn't have it, you know. And then you get in high school, you're like, let me figure out how I can like still finesse, you know, get a fit off.
Yeah, I was like a pieces girl. Like I used to like collect little pieces along the way and be like, okay, if I always have pieces in my closet, I can always put a fly outfit together.
Always put a fit together.
So like these boots, for example. This is a piece.
Yeah, these boots are tough.
I love a good boot.
Talk to me about, on the content side of things, you know, there are some rap fans that complain that women in rap are over-sexualized. What's your stance on that topic?
I feel like to each his own, because like we are women, so we're sexy. Like we should be able to be sexy when we want to be sexy, and it shouldn't have to be like a, oh my God, cover your eyes, I'm about to be sexy thing. Like it should be like a, okay, like it's just one of those things. Like it's just in us, so we should be able to do that freely without being judged for it. But I do feel like I felt pressures, and there's so many women who probably feel the pressure to be more sexy. But I also feel like as you grow up as a woman, you just kind of like embody that more and more. Like most women, like when they grow up, when you see a girl at 18 versus when you see a girl at 25, it's gonna give two different energies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so it's
two
like
different life experiences.
I don't like to rush the youth into being that. You know, I feel like everybody should do that on their own speed. Because like I was one of those girls. I grew up like a tomboy. I hung out with all guys. Like we wore baggy clothes, like Aaliyah vibes. Like, you know, so.
Got the Aaliyah vibes.
Yeah, like that was more my vibe growing up. So I was never like I never felt the pressures to be like overly sexy. But then like as a woman, I'm like, I want to get sexy. Like I want to put that stuff on and like, you know.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Talk to me about, you know, you talked about kind of like transitions and differences in life experience of like a 18-year-old and a 25-year-old. And I have to imagine that's got to be similar for you when it comes to how you approach your projects. How do you feel you've grown as an artist on Really Her?
Oh, wow. That's another great one. I feel like I grow daily. So, and I record often. And I feel like that's always in the music. And I'm always trying to figure out how can I up it? Because, you know.
I mean, yeah, you want to challenge yourself.
I'm in a big ocean, you know? So I'm like, how can I up it? How can I make this better? And I go in with my team, my production team, and my homeboys and my friends and my label and everybody that I trust creatively. And I always like, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And even people that I look up to, other artists that I'm friends with, I'll send them music and be like, hey, what you think about this? Or I'll tell them to pull up to the studio and I'll play them stuff. I'm never like shy to criticism or like, I don't take too much opinion. Like, I don't like when there's too many chefs in my kitchen.
Right. You're looking for a distinct thing. You're not necessarily looking for them to come in and try to read.
Yeah, like, I don't want you to come in and tell me, like, you should take this bar out and you should say this. I don't want you to come in and do that. I want you to come in and be like, give me your honest opinion. But I'll take it from there.
How do you get to a place where you're okay with certain people coming in the room, right? Because I feel like sometimes as a creative, or as, you know, Erykah Badu would say, you can be a little sensitive about your shit.
Yeah.
So how do you allow yourself to be open-minded to those different feedbacks and opinions that you do decide to trust to come into the room?
I tell everybody, like, when it comes to this, I have no ego. And I've had to learn to be that way because obviously I'm a Leo. So when I first came into things, I was very much like, this is how I want it. This is how I want everything done. And I think I'm this good. And this is like, I just had a tunnel vision of what I already thought. And it took me a while to realize, like, you don't know everything. And, you know, if you want to be great, you have to be open to suggestion and criticism,
Yeah.
but only from the people that you trust and that you really value their opinion, because everyone has an opinion.
Yeah, everybody.
Doesn't mean that you have to listen to everyone's, just the people that you value.
Yeah, yeah. Tell me what's your favorite song on this project?
I don't have a favorite per se, but I have like favorite moments
Favorite moments.
in the project.
Okay.
So I would say one of my favorite moment in the project is when Four Seasons transitions to Oh No.
Mm.
And it takes you from like this rap with the Andre 3000 sample.
Yep.
With the Outkast sample. And it goes right into reggae, like almost like reggaeton.
Yes.
And then from that reggaeton, it goes right into reggae. It goes right into dancehall with the Red Rat Oh No sample. So I feel like it's like 3 moments of like nostalgia for me, and just like great music, like just a great moment in music. If I could like take some of my favorite things in music, just from flow to transition to beat, and put them all like in a blender and with samples, it'd be like that moment.
Be that moment.
Of my project.
I knew we was gonna vibe. That's my favorite moment of the album.
Thank you so
That's
much.
my favorite moment. I just thought it was like
I
such a
appreciate that
unique
so much.
transition, and the energy transition in the project. And then, that song, it was just like, it's vastly different. Four Seasons is vastly different, more vulnerable, more pared back.
Yes.
And then you take us into this different energy. I was like, that's brilliant.
Me and my boys that produced that, Aziz and Lil Rich, we sat for months trying to figure that out. Like, because we wanted Four Seasons to go into like, oh no, but we couldn't figure out like how to do that. So we kept switching the transitions and switching them till we got it right. And then one day we got it right, and we were like, we lost it. Like, when you have like a eureka moment and you like flip the tables and you're like, yes! We were like, we have footage of it like running on the couches and stuff. We were like, this is it. We love it. It's great.
That's fire. I need that video. You need to go ahead and drop it.
I'm gonna say, it's actually, I think, in my BTS footage.
Yo, okay,
blog,
we'll take a look. So this project's really short. So I have to ask, like, is there more coming?
Yes. I'm so glad you asked. Yes. So I got actually a deluxe. My deluxe half of my project is coming out on the 29th.
Okay.
This is tea that nobody knows.
Okay. That's my birthday. Hey.
Libra scale season. So, it's coming out on the 29th. I'm really excited about it because some more tea about the deluxe. It's called the Really Hurt International Pack.
Okay.
So it's all my international features on the deluxe.
Wow.
Really fire international artists. I'm like, really.
Can you drop names?
Okay. I got a fire song with my boy Luciano on there.
Okay.
He's hard. We did Bamba together.
Yep.
Crazy record. Everything we do together is crazy. So I love Luciano. I got a little bit of Italy on there. I don't want to tell you the features.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna tell you where they're from, maybe.
Fair.
A little splash of Italy, a little splash of Nigeria, a little splash of the UK. Okay. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. A little bit of, it's just a little, you just gotta check in on the 29th.
Okay, fair enough. Now, London is a song that, so many folks talk about. The J. Cole feature, both of you going back and forth. But there's a rumor that there's a remix. Is that ever gonna see the light of day? Is that even true?
There is a remix. You know a lot of stuff.
Bia's like, y'all tell Beamer he can't ask me no more questions.
No, it's totally fine because I love these questions. I can't wait to answer them. So there's a remix. It'll be on the deluxe.
Okay.
Excited for that.
Say no more. We're looking out for the deluxe. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, we talked a little about what's happening, what's to come, but I want to take it back to New England. Let's take it back to Boston.
New England.
Tell me about what was it like growing up in Boston?
New England. It's cute. It's it's kind of like it. Okay, people always think that they're like not people like me from Massachusetts.
Yeah.
They're like, you're from Massachusetts? Like, that's so weird. I didn't know that there's like people like you over there. But it has its pockets, I would say. Like, it has very heavy culture pockets.
Yes.
You know, like I grew up in the North Shore, so it's very not so cultured, but it's like there's culture all over the city.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like I was always outside. I lived in 7 different cities in Massachusetts. Like I moved around and I lived there my whole life. So it was like I got to move around and I have friends in so many different neighborhoods and different things like that.
What's crazy to me is I lived there for 4 years, and it's so, like, you can get to a city in like 2 miles.
Yeah, it's very fast.
Like it's like
15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You could get like halfway across the city.
Yeah, and it was so different for me because I'm from Louisiana, and so trying to get from Louisiana into different cities was like 2-hour drives.
Yeah, no.
And there it was
mess.
like, oh no, we there. Like, assuming traffic isn't crazy.
North Shore, 15, 20 minutes from the South Shore.
Yeah.
2, 3 train stops. And a lot of people take the train, public transportation in Massachusetts because it's so quick to get everywhere.
Yeah, as long as y'all don't have a blizzard.
Yeah, if we have a blizzard, you still see people outside.
Oh, they be outside. The red line just don't work.
Yeah, that's true.
How did growing up in Boston and being in 7 different cities start to influence you as an artist?
I feel like I'm a melting pot of cultures. Like I'm so cultured just because, my family comes from different walks of life, but also I grew up with so many different people. So I always had like different neighbors, like my best friend growing up was Haitian. So like I was always around different languages, different food.
Yeah.
And when you're around so much, you soak that up and you're not like, you want to learn, and you kind of like want to shine light on everything that influenced you.
Yeah.
That's like the kind of person I am.
I love that. I think because it shows how rounded you are as an artist and as a person. I think this also makes you unique, right? You can bring people into like, this was the environment that I was growing up in. This is what it was like. Are there any sounds or things like that you try to bring in that you remember?
Like sometimes I sit with one of my producers and we'll look up like certain drum sounds. So it will reminisce about a time in Brazil and we'll be like, hey, can you find me like some drums with that Brazilian feel? Or like, if we go to London, we'll be like, when we did London, we were in like heavy in a drill vibe. So we were like, okay, let's find certain sounds that give us London drill, or that how could we make London drill but make it feel like us?
Yeah.
And that's what we always try to do. Like this, it's okay to take influence, but you gotta just do it like do you. Like make it you.
Your own. You can't just like
And I feel like that's what all the greats do. Like we're not first to do anything. So I just always try to, if I'm gonna take something, I'm gonna try to like do it my way.
Yeah, I love that. Like, you got to put your own, and I also feel like it's lazy when people don't. Like, it's just like, why? You got time. Take a little time.
Yeah.
Did you always want to be a rapper?
I always loved music, but then from the first song I made, I wanted to rap. Like the first time I made a song, it was like in somebody's closet. And like, let me just rap this. I rapped it, and I was like, I'm really good at this. The Leo jumped out again.
Yeah. He was like, I'm in here. I'm doing this.
But no lie. At first, I kind of thought I was like good at it, but then everybody else was like, "You're really good. Like, you should probably do that again. Like, do it again. Like,
do it again.
Do it again." So then I just started doing it again and again, and I was like, "This is so fun." It came so natural to me that I just felt like when you find your calling, you're like, "Wow, Eureka! I found it."
Yeah, and it's kind of hard to not do it. Once you like have figured it out, it's gonna haunt you if you don't. I feel like I can't imagine you going through that experience and we're sitting here in a different capacity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you're like, damn, I kind of wish I was rapping.
Right. I love music too because it opens up so many doors for other things that you don't even really realize that you're learning. Like I'm so into the engineering process of when I record now that like I used to just like record a song and it'd be like, all right, peace, send me the mix. And like, like not really like just I'm here to record and that's it. But when I really started like diving deeper and deeper into the music, I'm hovered over my engineer's shoulder. Like I'm like, can you reverse reverb that? Can you bring it back? Can you drop the beat? Can you do this? Like where like I'm so hands-on that I'm like, you know what, run that back. Like take this ad-lib out. I'm on top. We do that whole thing together.
Wow.
Yeah,
Where'd that switch happen? Like when you went from like, kind of just being in the studio to being like, nah, I want to be a part of the whole creation process of my music.
I noticed that the people that are really, really good are like that. Like you're not, if you're really, really good, you're like in it to win it. You're looking at that screen and you want to know like everything that's going on with your music, and you want to, if anything is throwing your ear off, you want to fix it. So I feel like the only way for me to do that is to be in the mixing process. Right?
Yeah, truly.
I've seen people do that too, and I used to see when I was in the studio with Ariana. I've seen her. She was the first artist I've seen comp her own vocals.
Really?
Like, yeah, she used to like go through her own vocals, like a real, like that's like real engineer stuff.
Yeah. She's like,
and I was
right,
like, yo, I was so inspired. I was like, how do you know how to do that? And then from that day, I think I was just like, I've been like, oh, I need to learn how to like go through my own vocals and like know like this is what I'm doing. This is what I want it to sound like. Perfection.
I think it's crazy what you learn through observation and seeing other artists process, because if not exposed to that, you wouldn't even think to be like, oh, I could actually go in and start messing with a lot of these things and tweak my sound and get it to where I wanted it to be. Like, that's really dope.
Even with the recording, I feel like it's like that too. You got to find your groove. Like, you might record one time and you're like, this vibe is not it. And then you might go and record and have like a wonderful experience and be like, what was so different about that? And how can I get that every time?
Yeah. Are you superstitious about when you go to record? Do you like try to create the same scenario? No.
No, but I definitely know what makes me comfortable and like what throws me off.
What throws you off?
Okay, what throws me off? What throws me off, like weird vibes in my studio.
Yeah.
Like I don't want anybody like that's in there that's like not having a good time.
Yeah.
Like if I'm like catching a vibe and you're just like, and you're not like, into it, spacebar, get out. Get out.
Yeah.
You could get out.
Yeah.
But that never happens to me. So like I'm so protective of my energy that never ever happens. Like everybody that's in the studio with me is like having a great time. They're there to be there.
Yeah.
And like, make the best song.
Yeah, you got the right people around. Cause there's nothing worse than like being in your pocket and there's that one person over
that's
there.
That's just like staring at you.
You're like, why are you here?
And they're not even like shaking their head. They're just like, do you like this? But yeah, honestly, I love being in the studio. It's my favorite place to be.
Wow.
Like if I could just lock myself in the studio for like 6 months and not answer my phone, I would be the happiest person in the world. My friends know that. Wow. They gotta like, sometimes when I'm recording for like weeks, like, and I'm really, really like, and I'm working on like a project or an album, they're all falling asleep on me and they're like, Bia, can we please take a nap? And I'm like, no.
No.
I'm like, you got one more in you, let's go. They don't.
It's a different level.
They're like, we need to sleep
and eat.
I'm
ready to go. It gets like that. When you're there and you're feeling it, the last thing you want to do is not be able to engage with that feeling when you're feeling it.
Especially if like you're in a groove, you're like, I can't stop this now. You can't sleep tomorrow?
Note to self, when Bia invites me to a recording session, bring a pillow.
Yeah. Oh, we have them. Don't even worry about it. And blankets.
Now, I know, when you found out rap was your thing, you wanted to pursue that, but you also went to college for a little bit.
Oh, not for long.
Not for long. So what was the length of time before you decided, nah, this ain't it?
I went to college for a year.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
just
two
for a year.
semesters.
And I was like, you know what? This is not bad. I like it here. It was a community college. It wasn't like a state school or anything crazy or a university. But I was trying to fill it out and see if I wanted to do it and like transfer to a bigger school and like do the college thing. But it just wasn't for me. It's like, it's not that it wasn't for me. I feel like I could have, if I was focused on it enough and applied myself, it could have been for me.
Yeah.
But I was so focused on making money and music and like everything else, my social life at the time, that I was like, oh, college, like it's not doing it for me. Maybe probably the music like really, really just like pulled me away.
It was probably,
But there's some people that go to college and they do music too, so it's like kudos to them. Yeah. I just couldn't focus enough on the college because I was like, I'm traveling. I'm in the studio every day.
Oh, you were traveling at that same time?
Yeah, at that time too. I think I had met, around that time I had met my manager, Fam, at the time, and I moved to Miami shortly after, and I was like, you have opportunities, sometimes you just take them.
Yeah.
That was one of those times for me that it was like, opportunity here, go take it or lose it.
Were you afraid at all about like?
Yeah. Anytime you gotta move across the country, it's scary. Or anytime you gotta move anywhere and you don't know anyone, you have no family, no friends, it's scary. But it's like, if it's in you, it's in you, and you'll figure it out. Especially when you have no choice but to figure it out. You're like, I'm not gonna leave, so I gotta figure this out.
I gotta figure this out. Like, this has to be the lane. I gotta rock with it. Now, you had mentioned like you've been in the game for a minute. You're not new to this, and you got your start, you know, with Pharrell and some of these other folks. What was it like that first like signing? Like, a lot of times for artists, like that's like, oh my goodness, I made it. Like, I can. The thought is like, oh, it's a wrap. Like,
that's
I'm
what
good.
I thought at the time. At the time, I really thought, I was like, oh, I'm here. But it was just the beginning. I always tell like new artists too, like when you first get signed, that's like where the real work starts. Cause now like you're not doing it for like your friends, and you're not doing it for your homies in your local city no more.
Yeah.
You're doing it for the masses.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, it's not just about you and what you like. Even sometimes I find myself like, there's songs that I'm like, this is not my favorite song. And then everybody else is like, this is our favorite song.
It's our favorite.
And I'm like, but I think this song is so much better. And they're like, well, we think this song is so much better. Like, people, everybody has their own ear.
Different ear. How do you deal with that? Like, because that's the transition, right? To go from like this pocket of like, oh, just literally it's all just purely for you, to like, oh, I have an audience that's responding differently to different things. How can I be receptive, but still keep you in the center of it?
You know how I look at it? It's not my last song. Like, that's how I look at it. Like, I don't know how everybody else looks at it, but I look at it like, this is not, every song I put out, it's not my last song. There's gonna be so many more songs after that. So that song might be for you, this song might be for you, this song might be for you, but you might not like that one, but they do. Yeah. So it's like, it's not my last song. There's many more songs to come.
And you're gonna hit different audiences with different songs. Tell me what was like working with Pharrell early on.
Just like he's just a wizard. Like, he just knows everything. So it was so cool, man. I learned so much from him and fam, and just the whole I Am Other crew over there. Like, they taught me so much of what I know, how to make good music, like timeless music. Yeah,
I have to imagine like being in that room and all that experience, like you kind of just soak it up, because like Pharrell's hit so many different eras. It has to be like a treat for an artist to be like, how can I absorb some of this and bring it into my process?
What I learned from people like Pharrell is like, they keep working at it every day. Like, they don't stop. Just even through the success that they see, they just still keep working. So like, that's just the biggest, like, they're just loyal to the pen at all times.
Wow. So I wanna jump in a little bit into some of your threads or X post.
I was gonna say, I don't believe I have a thread. So you got an
X. I mean, you got some dope. Can we call them? What do you call them now? They're not tweets anymore.
I think they're tweets. X tweets.
You said this year I want everyone to mind their business.
Oh, Jesus.
And let's try.
Jesus. Why you gotta come in so hot? Why you have to come in hot?
What was on your mind?
Exactly that. This year, I'd like everyone to mind their business. What else you got in there?
Let me see. I grew up fast.
I grew up fast. It's a lyric.
It is.
I grew up fast. I was thinking, yeah. Sometimes I tweet lyrics when I'm listening to a song. If the song's really hitting me, you might get the tweet.
How do he like you, but he don't buy you jewelry?
How do he like you, but don't buy you jewelry?
Every one of these is a bar, isn't it?
Yes, because that is actually a bar from the I'm Geekin' remix with me, DDG, and NLE Chopper. How did he like you, but don't buy you jewelry? I call him Poppy, I'm fluently.
Hey!
Feel like but ain't new to me, okay? We go in? Okay, sorry. She knew it.
She knew it.
That's my girl.
That was a whole moment. Let me see. I come on Twitter, I laugh, I get off, and go back to my amazing life. What you doing? What you doing?
Sometimes they troll me, so sometimes I get a little trolled. So like, I troll sometimes.
You troll back.
You gotta troll back sometimes.
Okay.
I try. You know what? I grew up a lot though. Like when I first had my Twitter, like I was like on demon time. Now I'm more like, let's just be friends. You don't want to be friends? Cool. Block me. Like, but I don't want to fight on here.
That's fair. That's fair. All right. So we'll take it as B was getting shots off. Now she chilling now.
Yeah.
Okay. Couple questions. When we think about the future and the future list of, maybe even collaborations in 2024, who are some of those folks that are on, that top list for you?
Oh, I don't know. That's such a weird question because like, I just love like collaborations that happen organically or that happen like because someone's a genuine fan of me. Like, I feel like that's when you get the best songs. Because, like, I'm not hunting down anybody to do, like, a song with them because, like, my songs are really good. So it's like, you should want to do a song with me, too.
Yeah, of course. You're like, I shouldn't be having to, like, it's got to be two ways,
like,
right?
if I had to pick someone, I would say Rihanna.
And you two connecting. I feel like there's a genuine connection there.
I just love her. And just musically, okay, like, I love Rihanna. Musically, I would love to hear my vocal with their vocal. Brent Fiennes.
Yeah.
That'd be a good song.
Yeah.
I'm moving into the R&B space a little bit.
Ooh.
I'll get to that next time I come
back. Next time you come. All right. I got to return.
Let's get through the international deluxe, and then we'll get to the R&B.
And then we'll get to the R&B. Fair enough. What was the connection like with Rihanna? What about that first time meeting that you were just like, yo?
She's just an angel. Like, if you can meet somebody and you'd want them to be how you'd want them to be in real life, like, she was like that. Just, like, genuine, super nice, like, just only amazing things to say. For real.
Talk to me about, besides the music, what about on the fashion side? Because you talk a lot of fashion talk.
I love fashion.
And the style is crazy. What
boots.
What about the fashion world do you love so much?
I love clothes. Like, I love clothes and I love shoes. I just love a look. Yeah. Like, I love putting a look on. I feel like when you gotta feel good to look good.
Yeah.
And the way I feel good is when I put a look on. Like, I don't know, it just does something to me.
Yeah.
It's like, gets me really excited. So I've been taking my time and dipping into the design space a little bit. Okay. And working with one of my amazing friends on just like designing different like merch, like different collabs with different brands. I won't say who yet, but
okay.
I'm in the design space right now a little bit because people are always like, oh, I like that. I like how you did that, how you put that together. I love your style. And I feel like I do have a unique style sometimes. So I've been just trying to figure out like, how can I pour my style into the things I like and share it.
Huh. How do you think about your personal style? If you had to describe it, is there a way you could describe it?
Authentic, edgy, sexy, fly.
Yo, she came ready.
Yes, very fly, very much top tier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I would say so. Like even when you're talking about high school, you were talking about in a way that I feel like people refer to now as they're a little bit more mature in their style, but you talked about pieces. And a lot of times you don't talk about pieces when you're like coming up. You're like, you got all this stuff that you want. But now, I mean, especially me, like I think about like, I'm not trying to buy all this stuff, but there's certain things that I want from a specific artist or a specific creative or a specific season. Like, I'll spend my money on that.
Yeah, because you feel like it's gonna grow with you, and you're like, oh, I can run that again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of too how I feel like about really good pieces. It's like I used to shop to like, okay, I'm gonna get this outfit and never wear it again. But then I started shopping for like, okay, what am I gonna wear? What do I want to wear again? That's like super duper fly. Like I could run that again.
What could you run again?
These boots. These boots for sure. I could run these again.
Those boots seem to be top of mind. Well, you're putting a couple of different things together, right? Like you have this. It also feels like you have this very intentional plan of this global appeal. Why is it so important for you to have that international connection?
It's a good question because, well, many different reasons, I think. partly because I have a lot of friends around the world. So I don't think to just one audience or just like one particular person. I think for like so many different people. And I'm like, I don't want to be boxed into just like one genre, one thing.
Yeah.
I want to, and I love to travel. Like I said, I'm a real student of the world. And I love learning, and I love like learning about different people's cultures. And like every time I go somewhere new, I try the food.
You have to.
Like authentic food, and I'm like,
you have to.
And I might rap about certain things from that area, like shortage. So I like to do that.
Yeah, I think you have to do it. Like, what's the point of going travel to all these beautiful places and all these different things, you know, if you're not going to try it?
Right.
And then get to talk about it. Because I feel like also you have to have an audience, you know, that's been with you from the very beginning, and they kind of, you know, some of them might not have the means to go to the places that you've been able to go. And so they probably look to you from a aspirational standpoint as well, I have to imagine.
Like a lot of my friends I grew up with, they've never traveled. I bet we all know somebody that's never been on a plane.
Yeah.
Like, or there's people that have like literally never left their hometown. So I was one of those people too. Like I traveled when I was like younger, but not till I was like maybe 18, 19 is when I started like really like, wow, the world is really big. Like I can really go to different cities and just see like, oh, there's people like this here. Like, and you start going on vacations with your friends and you're like, I can do this, I can go on vacations, just get up and go.
Yeah, but it's crazy because some, you know, like, you know, you get into the nuances of it, but like sometimes people don't even know that they can do that. They know it's.
That's what I'm saying.
They see people doing it, but they don't know that they can do it. And I have to imagine, like, it's dope to hear from you. You probably are opening doors for people to find that courage and go figure out how to, you know, leave the neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know, which can be hard. Tell me about, you know, as you think about the adjustment you've been making from artists coming up, signing, you continue to expand and grow. What's been the adjustment from a mindset standpoint and, you know, going into celebrity? Like, how do you do that, but also still remain grounded at the same time?
Well, because I still look at myself, like a lot of my close friends tell me, they're like, I don't think if you could see yourself, you'd see yourself differently. Because I still feel me. Like if you've known me for years, I'm probably like very much the same as I was, like the way that I communicate and talk with people is like very similar to how I've always been.
Yeah.
I didn't just like feel like, oh, I got celebrity and then I changed as a person. I'm still very much the same person. So yeah, I've never had that like mentality, but I've always feel like there's so much more for me to do.
Yeah.
So I've never felt like I'm done. You know, like I never felt like, oh, I'm big celebrity. It's like, I got so much to do. Like I'm so focused on like what's next, but also trying to be grateful for the present moment.
Yeah, you have to be, like, or else it just kind of goes by in a blur and you're like, what happened? But you definitely got to come back in that R&B era. You know, we got to talk more about that.
I can't wait to hear it.
Okay.
I want to like let you hear it. Sneak peek after this.
Well, we got some fans in the audience that definitely want to hear from you. If it's okay with you, I'm gonna start to pass this mic. All right, we're gonna go over here first for our first question. Introduce yourself and ask your question.
Hey, I'm Nani, and I have a question for you. I know you've collaborated with Kali Uchis before, and I'm wondering if in the future you would be opening to collaborating with her on a Spanish song.
Oh, yes, I would love to. Kelly's my girl. We're like real cool homegirls in real life, so I would always collaborate with her. That's a great suggestion.
I love her. I'm seeing her on the 29th when your deluxe comes out.
Thank you for your question.
I love it. You got your dates in order.
Yeah.
My girl. Let's go.
Hi, my name is Aaliyah.
Hi,
and
Aaliyah.
You're a Leo twin.
Hey, twin.
My question for you is, obviously we see you now, you're successful, established, but was there a time in life where you felt particularly directionless? And how did you find your direction? How did you overcome that season?
Oh, that's such a great question. I wouldn't say directionless, but more so like I had a direction, didn't know how to get there.
Yeah.
And like, so I didn't have directions. So it was more so finding the directions of where I'm trying to go. So I think like how I got there was to have a plan. I always tell people like come up with a plan, cultivate a team that can help you facilitate that plan, and go. Like just don't stop and don't take no for an answer, and don't start until you're ready to just start and not finish. Like until you're finished. Like no stops. You just have to go. And trust yourself for real, because people will try to make you think that you're not going the right way when you know at the end of the day, like you know when it feels right and when it doesn't.
That's a good
Thank
answer.
you.
Next question over here.
Hey, Bia. My name is Solomon, and I really like your lyrics because they're full of affirmations about prosperity.
Yes.
So my question is, what are your thoughts on manifestation?
Oh, I'm so happy you asked that. I'm big on manifestation. Like I manifest literally everything in my life. Every single day I wake up and I'm manifesting something. So even with the things that I like and my hobbies, I turn those into manifestation, and I turn those into like, okay, this is my hobby today, but I'm gonna turn it into a business tomorrow. So I always like, that's my approach with everything. I feel like it starts with manifestation, and then with the work comes after that.
Beautiful.
Speak it first.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank y'all so much for y'all questions. Bia, thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
Thank
and
you.
kick it. We can't wait till the project drops on the 29th.
Thank you for having me, and thank you guys for your energy.
Absolutely. Y'all make some noise. Bia, after you.
So cute. Aww, I don't want to leave.